One.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Virtual Velocity Racing XFINITY Series as we're back here at Chicagoland Speedway. And this thing is a unique shaped track here. It is a 1.5 mile tri-oval, but as we mentioned in the previous broadcast and every broadcast that we have here on CRN for Chicagoland, it's more of a circle to me. I know you got a couple little straightaways kind of heading to and from the tri-oval part of it, but the backstretch is got a little curve to it, so it's a little funky. And those runs that you get on the outside of turn 2 coming off the corner where you typically can kind of drag race that person down the backstretch, you don't have as much of an advantage because that inside line, well, is still technically the inside of the corner, so it gets a little funky. But this is a track that was opened in 2001 and has been dormant now since 2020 in real life, but it is going to be back on the Cup schedule in 2026. So after a little 6-year hiatus, and they did a little street course racing. Gross. They are going to be back here to the tri-oval here in Chicago. Carl and we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, we're back here once again, and hopefully we get to see a good one here tonight.
Yeah, it's like I never left. I mean, Chicagoland. Obviously, I'm looking at the aerial view here, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So, I guess there's one place to put a racetrack. It seems like that's where they put a lot of them. I know Pocono's out in the middle of nowhere. I've been there many a times. Dover's right in downtown though. So, and I've been to that track many a times. But more than normal, they're usually out in the middle of nowhere. So there's plenty of parking, plenty of party, plenty of tailgating. If you've ever been to one. A lot of fun, and I recommend at least getting to one in your lifetime if you like NASCAR. So, but either way, we're gonna run here Chicagoland. It's gonna be 100 laps, I believe tonight. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and to see who can become victorious here tonight.
Yeah, pretty interesting how everything kind of went down. I mean, usually, for one reason or another, NASCAR decides to kind of move away from a track from their schedule, or take one of their 2 events away off the schedule for attendance reasons, for financial reasons, anything like that. But this one, it was closed in 2020 due to COVID-19, and at that time they obviously laid off pretty much everybody at the Chicagoland Speedway. And as I mentioned, it laid dormant for quite a few years. It was just used as a storage facility for Ford in 2021 for unfinished new vehicles during the microchip shortage. So it's still played a part, I guess, in automotive, just not on the racetrack, other than a one-off super motocross event here in 2023. But the Joliet Illinois Speedway is going to be back in action, as mentioned, here in real life in 2026. But it's back in action here on CRN as we've got the Virtual Velocity Racing here tonight for race number 2. We'll see who's got the hot shoe here tonight. The season opener was won by Ryan Kelly, not here tonight. So we're going to have our second winner here on the season. The drivers are ready to go. We're done with qualifying. Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of tonight's starting order?
I've got a couple minutes left of qualifying, so they're still out there.
Yeah. That's right. I'm looking at test here. I thought for some reason that was grid, so never mind. So
Carl is excited. This place
excited.
does. This track does have some good racing, and we've seen the next gens here just the other night, and those cars were a little on the loose side. Carl, I think we're going to kind of see on the opposite side here, run the Xfinity cars. And they seemed to, I was watching some drivers out there, and they look to be a little tight if you get on the throttle a little bit too early. So leaving the exit instead of the rear end going around, the front end's going to go into the wall. So going to be very interesting to see how patient the drivers are actually here to let that nose come around before they actually get on the throttle. And throttle application to oval, or when you're oval racing, is extremely important. But another thing that we need to pay attention to is pit entry. We've seen a fantastic entry by one where it kind of took out some water barrels at the end there. So just the other night. So just looking forward to seeing, making sure these drivers can get going here. But VVR is known for their green flag racing. So will we see 100 laps here tonight? Will we see some drivers with some some troubles here with this track. So it's going to be a good one here, but practice is now, or qualifying is now over. And the results are up, and then we will now read through those here real quick for everybody. As Cody Griffin will be your pole sitter here tonight in that number 3. Brandon Meir up there in the number 14 on the outside. Dalton Kilroe qualifies in 3rd. Todd Burkle up there as well in 4th. DJ Mitchell in 5th. Robert Kahn in 6th. Mike Hasty in the number 72 in 7th. Austin Call in 8th. Andrew Paleschi gets a good qualifying here tonight in the top 10 in 9th. Ty Marasco in 10th. Derek Paulson back out there in the number 5 and 11th. Sean Wilder in 12th. Hemi Gardini in 13th. Dustin Franklin in 14th. Len McNeese in 15th. 16th is going to be Eric Blount, and 17th is going to be Todd Poston. Michael Taylor will be in your top 18, and then in the back of the rest of the field there, and 19th is going to be Tim Lee, the man in charge here at Virtual Velocity Racing. So if you're looking for a great league to run in, get a hold of Tim Lee. Cole Spaulding is in 20th, Gordon Larson in 21st, Mike Rideout in 22nd. Hilton Young's going to start in 23rd. James Yeager is going to be back there in 24th. Cade Green back in 25th. Michael Pratt starting on the back of the field like the classic VVR racer that he is, and be joined with Robert Smith, newcomer there in the 08. So looking to get around here tonight. So only 3 cars are not putting in times, but I really only consider 2 because Michael Pratt loves coming from the back.
Yeah, I think it'd be an absolute shocker if he ever puts in a time. Even if
he's going to qualify here some of these nights. He's going to be like, pull.
Or he'll go out there just to appease us, and he'll put down like a 2-minute 50-second lap time.
Just to have not a no time out there.
There you go. Unqualified guys. But we got a few returning faces out there. Good to see. And we'll see, hopefully, a little bit better showing for Andrew Paleschi this week. I know he had some issues last week, and then he's got the 81 qualified up there in the top 10. We'll see how long it takes Dalton Kilroe to get to the front of the field, starting up there in 3rd. One of the better qualifying efforts we've seen from that 41, even though he's got the target on that car, all over the car. Maybe needs some more targets, as he was just shy of winning last week, but certainly is definitely going to be a favorite here tonight, starting up there in 3rd. And we also got his teammate Derek Paulson back there in 11th starting spot. Keep an eye on that 5, see if he moves his way up through the field here, along with a return of James Yerger joining back here in the field here in the 39 as well. But as Jimmy mentioned, we got 100 laps here at Chicagoland, 150 miles here tonight, and looks to be going to be going under lights here. The sun is just about setting here in Joliet, Illinois, and the pace car lights are out and going to make that vicious left-hand turn as he it's crazy how he just sneaks inside that cone. But either way, Barney's got that green flag waving, and we are racing here at Chicagoland. Good start here on the outside for Brandon Meir, as he's actually going to have the edge going into turn number 1. Not a jump on the start or anything like that. He was actually clear, no black flags. They'll be side by side for the lead, as well as all the way through the field here, and getting to the backstretch for the first time. We see these drivers getting at it.
Yeah, drivers, obviously continuing to battle around here, but focus a little bit on the back of the pack, because they deserve some love around here too. I know some drivers they've reached out, try to catch so we can get some attention. So trying to, sometimes the drivers towards the back kind of spread out just a little bit, but you can see some three wide back here by a few of them trying to make up some spots here early on lap number 2, but all clean for a couple or at least the first lap here at Chicagoland. Now they need to kind of get at it, and I know they did some adjustments for this season to, kind of eliminate try to eliminate the fuel strategy. Doesn't necessarily going to eliminate the tire strategy, but definitely stirs things up just a little bit. But Carl, just like any other track, if a caution comes out at a certain time, it could come a fuel race anyways. You can see the one bouncing, Ty Marasco bouncing off the wall and collecting it, and I've seen a lot of drivers kind of checking up just a little bit to allow him to not get involved in anybody. So good job on the field there around Ty Marasco, as You had a close one there, probably getting a little tight getting off that corner.
Yeah, Ty Marasco, obviously, last week for the season opener had a good start to the season with the number one. It's certainly good to see the DQ, not Dairy Queen, the disqualified driver out there once again. We got car sideways. Hemi Gherardini gets into Len McNeese, and then McNeese down across the track, collecting a few others. And we're going to take a look back here and see what brought this caution out. I see the 17 going sideways. May have gotten a little bit of help. We'll see what happened.
Oh, little tag there by, who was that? Right behind Hemi
73, maybe?
I'm having a hard time seeing the number on the car at 73 of Dustin Franklin.
I'm wondering if Dustin, because it looked like Dustin kind of had his nose in there a little bit, and then the 17 maybe came down the track to try and get to that bottom line, and they just kind of met in the middle, unfortunately.
Let's
take a look here from the cam. Yeah, kind of both going down there. And certainly very close, but then you see here the 17 slides up the track, unfortunately gets into the 84. The 6 getting a big amount of damage right there as well. Going to bring out our first caution here of the night, and we'll see if this already changes up some strategy for some of these drivers.
08 getting involved as well as Len McNeese coming down across the track. 76 being picked up as well as Mike Rideout will endure some damage, but Michael Pratt happened to avoid a few cars there, being in the back of the pack and getting things going here. But first caution of the night here early on, but you see pit road being pretty busy by a lot of drivers, and it could just be that little bit of fuel that they need to make it one less stop, a little faster run, whatever it may be. And now whatever adjustment the fuel from the beginning, it kind of gets thrown out the window a little bit. This could be enough to make it a little bit of a different race, and that's kind of one thing about early cautions on. You never know what's going to happen, but Cody Griffin is your leader right now in number 3, so I'm not ignoring you, Cody. Congratulations, get up there on the pole for 1 and getting back there in the lead over Brandon Meir. That's in second there. And then you got Mike Hasey. He's moved up to 3rd. Todd Merkel still hanging to 4th. Andrew Pileshi up a few spots as well. Austin Call in 2nd. Tim Lee, I think, skipping the pit stop, moving all the way up to 7th, up 12 spots. Todd Poston up 9 spots as well. Same with Gordon Larson. So a few drivers electing not to come in, and then a few going in obviously for damages or fast repairs, whatever they need. But early on here for tonight's race, 7 laps in the books, or we're on lap 7, 6 laps in the book, 7 laps in the books as they come down through turns 1 and 2 right now, as they start to stack up double wide, getting ready to restart this next time by.
Gilrow, the highest running car here that did make a pit stop. Looks like Cade Green got a black flag on this one. Not sure if it was an unsafe entry or what the case was, but the 19 going to have a black flag. But out front, Cody Griffin is going to be the one that controls this restart here. And last week we've seen quite a few drivers get up there and get some laps led. 8 of the 27 drivers last week were able to lead at least 1 lap. Ryan Kelly leading the most and ended up getting the win last week. Michael Taylor ended up finishing with the fastest lap of the race. Currently, the lead, all the laps led, and the fast lap being held by Cody Griffin. Obviously, plenty early here, but we're going to get this thing back underway, and definitely got to shout out all these drivers. And once again, we're missing a few that we had last week. Got a few new ones in here this week. So once again, 27 drivers out here tonight, and they're all back under green as we're back to racing here at Chicagoland.
Yeah, I also want to give a shout out to all the viewers out there. It's actually some of the higher numbers I've seen here for VVR lately, so maybe the return of some of the other drivers or some new drivers, bringing in some new people here at CRN. So if you're new to the channel, like always, please hit that like and subscribe. We're here pretty much 5 days a week at nights doing some sort of racing, so we've got plenty to watch if you like watching this type of stuff, or if you just want to come see what's going on. But if you hit the little bell, I'll definitely tell you when we go live. Like I said, most times it's about once a night, but Wednesdays we do have a doubleheader. So it's back-to-back races here at CRN. But right now, back-to-back, they're trying to get great racing in here at VVR. This is race number 2 at Chicagoland. Riding on board with Sean Wilder as they head down the backstretch. Currently sitting in 13th. See him getting a nice run there. He's going to go underneath the 73 down to the inside. Hug that white line following the double, looks like the double zero. Yep, of Gordon Larson as they come down. You can see that he is selected to go down there on that apron, and you can see the car kind of shimmy around a little bit. It's just one place I've never felt comfortable going, Carl. It just the car. I don't know if you just don't. I don't feel the gain going down there all the time, but I know it's shorter, so you think it would happen.
Yeah, some tracks are smoother with the transition. Some tracks are a little rougher. This is kind of, in my opinion, in between the two of them. You can definitely go down there, and you see your leader going down there trying to cut as much track as possible. It is faster. You can scrub a little bit more tires by doing that, but you see both him and Brandon Muir stretching away from the field right now as they got about 2-second lead over Mike Casey, who's running in third. But you mentioned all the viewers out there, and no offense to the drivers. I know the drivers certainly bring in quite a few fans, but listen, Jimmy, I mean, we've become appointment television. You gotta step in and see what's going on nightly here at CRN, and I'm sure a lot of our fans out there are sad that we got nothing going on Fridays and Saturdays, but we do this weekend. So yes. We're going to be tackling the Daytona 24, and I got the privilege of the chaos of not just the start of the race, but the first 4 hours of the race. So a nice little quad stint to start the race out here. Looks like Eric Blunt having a bit of an issue here off track, and
let's see what happens.
He's going to get collected back up here. Looks like no caution on the speedway. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Looks like he's a little loose already, but no, he gets everything cleaned back up, and then a little shot from the 08 there. Gonna send him down into the grass, but it's like no harm, no foul, other than obviously getting sent to the back of the field. But caution does not come out on this one. We're gonna keep it green as Cody Griffin leads the way. Brandon Muir in second. They have both cleared the field right now by 3 seconds. So I'm not sure what strategy they're going for, but they're not saving anything the way it looks here. Mike Hasty in third place. Todd Merkel, Andrew Paleshi in the top 5. Then we got Austin Call, Sean Wilder, Tim Lee, DJ Mitzel, and Todd Poston for your top 10. Want to thank our series sponsors here: Goldline Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs for everything they do here. But it's been a nice little run here. Now we got back going green here. It's definitely racy though. I mean, we're seeing a lot of different lines. I know we talked about the cars being a little bit tighter here, but at least it's loose enough that you can kind of work some different lines out there.
Yeah, it's nice to see cars kind of looking, or at least looking, or attempting to make passes on different lines, and obviously being successful. And it's obviously when you go down to the inside, the car's got to turn tighter, and usually when you get to the middle of the turn, the car wants to push to the outside. So that's where the outside's momentum, if they can keep it up, can defend that inside run from these drivers. So you'll see that happen here, especially with the when the tires start to get a little bit newer, or older. Yeah, I wish they got newer as you drove. But it can be difficult. But we're mid-pack here. I see a shout out for Dustin Franklin from RJ out there, shouting out at somebody he's rooting for out here. But back in the pack, almost like a mid-pack battlefield right now. He's got the 21 defending that move off there from the that was Robert Kahn and the Home Depot machine. So this here's mid-pack, Carl, and it's good to see drivers around each other. And you don't talk about him too much because he does start in the back, but the Napa machine on this number 77 is on the move here, up 7 spots right now, and trying to get maybe a little bit forward here in this one. Up to 19th position. Tim Lee, still the biggest mover, though, of the race, sitting in 9th in that number 24 Shell machine. So he's been rocking that paint scheme there for a little while now, Carl.
Well, we got a caution here on the speedway. Looks like Hemi Gardini involved in this one again. Hilton Young as well. So we'll have to take a look and see what happened.
17 getting oh, somebody's already loose.
Oh yeah, looks like Dustin Franklin involved in this one. He was involved in the first one as well, and this time
shot.
He gets involved big time. Looks like the 38 involved there as well, but it happened in front of the 73, I believe.
Yeah,
might have been Hilton Young involved in this one. Actually, Hilton Young was the 38 there, coming in late and getting some major contacts. We'll take a look here, see what happened with the 73.
Coming down across the nose of Robert.
And looks like, yeah, the same exact situation as the first one, a mirror image, but this time it's a 73 that comes down the track and gets into the 21. So that's going to bring us under another caution. And Hilton Young and Gherardini both ended up with the meatballs on this one. So they'll have to come in and get some repairs. But I'm sure we'll probably see a good amount of the field, if not the entire field, come in on this pit stop.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and bring the tower up here so you can all see when your favorite driver might be coming in. But you can see the meatball flag flying there for Young and Gherardini. So they'll need to get down the pits, and hopefully they have a fast repair to get those cleared instantaneously. If not, they got some repairs that'll be in there, and it could be a long one as well on lap 19 of 100. And you can see your leaders obviously coming in. They haven't made a pit stop yet, so they're going to definitely come in. And we'll see if anybody decides to skip this pit stop. And so far, everybody is in. Cade Green is the only one left.
And is he maybe staying out for a lucky dog to try and get back on the lead lap there, as you see the 19 coming around. Definitely want to mention for Michael Pratt, it's good to see that he's got a sponsor for the season with Napa on the car. I know he's typically just a thrown together paint scheme with nothing on there, but good to see Napa on the car. That had number 77. Maybe it'll give him a little extra speed. Looking pretty good. Good looking car. So we always say, look fast, go fast. We'll see how it works out. But yeah, see pretty much everybody coming in, but no tires. I'm not seeing anybody taking tires towards the front of the field. A few very far back in the field taking tires on this one, but I think a lot of these drivers are coveting those two sets of tires that they have in the pits for a little bit later in this race. We are only on lap number 20. So, not even a third of the way through this race. So just kind of maybe hanging on to those two sets of tires for later in the race. But we'll see some of those cars that did take the tires, again, pretty far back in the field, like Glenn McNeese back there in 23rd. It's like Hilton Young back in 25th took tires as well. So we'll see how far they can move up through the field if this thing gets back to green and stays green for quite some time.
Yeah, it's, whoever took tires is going to obviously want to make sure they make use of those now. I mean, and hopefully, it plays out to their favor as they can stay green. If they do stay green, then they might be in a position to like I said, I don't know how far they can go here tonight. I know the other night they were like 30 laps, so I don't think that was full. I don't think that was full fuel. So obviously
different cars as well.
Yeah, different car, but obviously, so that's just kind of getting a rough estimate. But we haven't been able to go long or green enough here yet tonight to see when that green flag will and might happen. But right now, all the drivers been in here on lap number 19. Len McNeese coming in and lap 20, maybe before just to top it off since he was in the back, which I don't blame him. We do have, it does look like 24 drivers on the lead lap. Hilton Young, Cade Green, and Emmy Gherardini. Obviously, a few laps down, I see Gherardini still in the meatball flag, so either not checked or had to use it on the last one. So
I think he used his fast spare on that first wreck because he was involved in a pretty heavy wreck the first time. So probably doesn't have a fast spare, so maybe down to 26 cars. But the three of Cody Griffin back on the loud pedal here. We're back to racing. A good restart here from the three. Gets a really good jump. They got side by side between Brandon Muir and Mike Hasty. Hasty trying to take second spot away on the inside. Good battle behind them as well with Andrew Pileshi and Todd Merkel. And looking here at the four of DJ Mitzel there in seventh, Austin Call, Dalton Kilbrough, and Todd Poston for your top 10 as we're back to racing here. But again, plenty of racing left to go at 80 laps left in this race. But so far, nobody has gotten the better of the three of Cody Griffin. He's one of the few Toyotas out there in the field, but looking mighty strong right now.
He got it really hooked up tonight here at Chicagoland, so maybe he's got some a decent amount of laps here. Obviously, his I rating, I don't know Cody too well, but I do know that he has a decent I rating, so he has plenty of time on the track out in the officials. So used to maybe being out there and maybe even getting some victories. I'd have to look at his iRacing career to see what kind of races he was involved in and how many victories and stuff that he's got out there. But right now, Andrew Pleshy trying to move towards the front there, trying to get underneath the number 72 of Mike Hasty to battle for third. Grabbed it for a second, but had to kind of let up and let that car rotate. And is going to lose that position back to Mike Hasty, and the 91 is going to try to take advantage as well on the outside of Sean Wilder. Up 7 spots, and we'll go back to your biggest mover currently is going to be James Yerger out there in the number 39, getting things done right behind Robert Kahn. So just trying to he's on the outside there, so trying to make things work here. A lot of drivers trying some different things, and that pit stop and strategy is just one of many here tonight.
Once again, I want to thank all the viewers out there. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. It gets you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer and help the YouTube algorithm get the video up there for all the drivers out here and VVR. But it's been a pretty good one. A couple just maybe slight mistakes. I mean, both the cautions were exactly the same. A car coming down kind of from the middle lane, and there was a car already down there on the bottom with slightly their nose on the inside and just coming together right at the kind of last second. But it's kind of, I think, partly due to the track as well. It's just a funky little design with the backstretch being curved, and then it got a little close right there.
It's not over.
And then the turn 3 kind of creeping in right away, as well as looks like finally
he's good to go now.
Yeah, that was a bit of a ride right there for
Hilton Young real trying to fight, get a hold of that car. Yeah, he just said it was like, I'm going down here. I'm about losing it, so he just went down on the apron to stay out of everybody's way, just to, that's a hard thing to do sometimes when you're trying to catch a car, but you don't want to wreck anybody else. So they're like, all right, let me really slow down, get out of the way, and get in control of this thing, get it back out on the track. So, but Hilton Young able to gather that, keep things clean and green here as well. Lap number 28 of 100. Cody Griffin out to a little over half a second lead over the field. Brandon Meir chasing him down with Mike Hasty, Andrew Pileshi, and Sean Wilder. For your top 5, then Dalton Kilroe, Todd Merkel, BJ Mitchell, Austin Call, and Todd Poston for your top 10.
Yeah, a slight little breakaway at the front, about 0.6 of a second for Cody Griffin, but everybody else, I mean, you could throw a blanket over the next 20 cars in line. Everybody, diving around, trying some different lines in the corners. For the most part, single file, but there's definitely some racing. You take a look at the battle right now between the 64 of Austin Call and Todd Poston and the 31, and they're right behind DJ Mitchell. This is the back half of the top 10, 8th, 9th, and 10th. But some good racing out here, and we mentioned it when we were here last time. It's almost kind of a mini Michigan, as you can see all the different lines that you can take through the corners. Obviously had the next gens out here last time, and here we got the Xfinity cars, but kind of the same deal. You're seeing a lot of this track being used up in the corners.
Yeah, they're using as much track as possible, and we're right on board here with Ty Marasco, as you can heard him lift just a little bit before he entered, and you can see just kind of nice and easy coming out the corner. Car slides to the outside, and if you're too wide, that changes. And you can see obviously drivers electing to go down there on the apron and then come back on the track and just kind of letting it glide on the throttle just a little bit, and then obviously full throttle as they come off. But yeah, nice and easy right now. The tires are nice and warm. If they're on older tires, should probably actually feel pretty decent as long as that front right's not destroyed. And it sounds like Ty Marasco's trying to take care of it just a little bit here, as he looks forward on a bunch of cars battling and making decisions on where to go, but following real close there, right behind Derek Paulson in that number 5. He's going to take that run to the outside, maybe a little farther into the corner than he wanted, trying to get a run here, but he's going to get a run on the outside, but Gonna get held up as the 39 slides up in front of them as they head down the back straightaway. But yeah, Cody Griffin's still stretching out here, Carl, all by himself. No draft, no help, no nothing.
And doing a good job of it right now, and he is using that apron. We do see a few cars looking back there using that apron, but for the most part, a lot of drivers staying up on the track side, not trying to cut the bottom down there. Mike Casey battling here with Dalton Kilroe, who's trying to work his way back up to the front. Still plenty early, but we do know that 41 likes to get up front, likes to kind of dictate the pace, and likes to kind of work the strategy to his advantage, but hasn't been able to get up there and crack the top 3 since the start of this race when he started in 3rd. Finally gets around the 72 there to move up into 4th. But we got some incidents, some action in the back, and yeah, there it is. I was going to say, that should be a caution here. Oh, the 38 just clips the 31 at the end. We'll go back here and see what started this one.
Well, I think it's because Hemi was out there offering some unused sets of tires for Chicagoland. I think everybody got excited. Welcome to the broadcaster, Hemi. Tough luck out there, but always good to see you on the track. And we'll check out to see what happened, as it's kind of a mess here. I think this is after this?
Oh, that was... Yeah, I think we need to rewind that one more time. I think that was heavy net code in between the 5 and the 00 here. It's going to start everything off out of the corner.
On the outside. Yeah. Oh, that's even more. Hold on. We need to change views here, folks. I'll go here. And I think it was the 9. I want to say.
I know the 31 was up in the wall.
There we go. It has happened up here. Yeah, there it is. The 91. This is rewind. Okay, there it is. So the beginning of this is right here, and it does look like the 31 and the 91 getting together here. '31 driving pretty deep and have to check up for the 4. Pushes him out to the 91. 91 gets up into the wall, and then the 91 into the 49.
Yeah, but if you keep going, because I think that it obviously stayed green here.
And then there's the 1 of Ty Marasco.
Does a good job shooting through the inside here slightly, but he gets to the 91 also. Again, stayed green, but here between the 5 and the 00 is eventually what brought out this caution. As you see, the 5 gets a little bit loose, shoots down the track, and then right there, I mean, close to contact, they would have ended up making contact anyway. But tough one. There's quite a few drivers getting involved in this one.
Yeah, pretty. Obviously, nothing like. Obviously, a few getting really kind of slung around there, but 5 and 00 obviously not looking the right way. To see the 5 there gets tagged by the 38 as well. So yeah, a little bit of chaos here on lap number 30, 35. Just underneath caution again one more time, Carl. So yeah, I'm not quite sure, what driver's going to do. Maybe coming down this time to get some tires, or maybe they're staying out. I don't know. But right now, Andrew Pleshy out front over Todd Merkel, Austin Paul, Robert Conlon, McNeese. You can see those top 3 has stayed out. So I don't know if they took tires last time. You said not many people did.
I don't think anybody did. Yeah, no.
So still holding on to a set of tires.
Two sets the way it looks, and I mean we're not at the halfway point yet, and there's been a few cautions here tonight, so maybe we're looking at the situation here of everybody just kind of planning on some cautions coming out. They want to take a set of tires around the midway point, and then another one late in the race, so they have the freshies at the right time. But there's a lot of drivers, as you mentioned, that did take tires here, so I think it's gonna be mighty racy here on the start. But the first time all night that we don't see the 3 out front It's the 2 and the 81 on the front row here. The pace car lights are out. We're going to get this thing back underway as you got Todd Merkel, Andrew Pileshi, Austin Call, Robert Kahn, and Len McNeese for your top 5. Cody Griffin, Brandon Muir, DJ Mitzel, Cole Spaulding, and Eric Blunt for your top 10. But keep an eye on that pace car and make sure he has a safe entry on this thing as he just sneaks inside that cone again. But it's going to be back to racing. Andrew Pileshi back on the loud pedal, and we're racing again here at Chicagoland.
Yeah, Chicagoland at its finest here, and Pileshi taking the jump here, getting out front quickly. As Todd Merkel, Robert Kahn are going to have to hold up the field just a little bit on some used tires. But I see somebody going around the side. That's DJ Mitzel. Can't catch him. He's falling through the field here. Stays off the track. But able to come back up. They're still green, but we'll go ahead and catch that one here. Right here. Or getting farther to see what the DJ just hold tires coming down and just gets loose.
Yeah, just lost it by himself right there.
Yeah, just made it by Eric Blount and down to the grass, back up on the track, and keep things going. So another close one here. I think Chicagoland
kind of fighting back here a little bit.
Fighting back a little bit here tonight with VVR. VVR has been picking them up and knocking them down. Cautions, are a rare thing. Definitely, more cautions than we're used to seeing here with VVR for sure. But that's racing. I mean, and sometimes it is the track. The transition. You can see the lights are now out. It's, the weather changes, the track changes, the car, and then the car handles different. So what you were practicing for is now different. So, and it's going to keep going. I'm not sure. I think it's just normal. Did they have this on 2 times or 4 times for daytime? Because I know that can affect things a lot quicker as well.
No, it is. I believe it's just a straight time here. I'm looking here at the rules and the info. And actually, it is 2 times. Okay. 2 times for the time here. But I mean, we started at sunset. It's now into to nighttime. Lights are on out here. But yeah, I think it was about 37 laps since they had a fresh set of tires on there. So maybe just kind of getting reacclimated to brand new tires out there, because you do have to be a little cautious on those first couple laps. But now you see 3 wide. Not too much caution being used at the front here as some of these drivers with the new tires trying to work their way to the front. We already have Cody Griffin back in the lead, Brandon Muir back in the second, Pileshi still holding on to third, and Len McNeese still holding on to fourth. But now going to get passed by Cole Spaulding, and you see here Todd Merkel starting to float back through the field, as well as he doesn't have any new tires out there to battle with them. And you see the runs that some of these drivers are getting with the new tires. It's tough to compete with.
And you can see, the 6 has some tires. He's been kind of driving wherever he wants to go right now, and able to make runs and get up there. But just getting by Robert Kahn, and now coming up on the 73, trying to gain that position off of Dustin Franklin for P number 8. Here comes the 08 of Robert Smith, up 16, 17 spots right now. Obviously, probably has some newer tires as well. So, yeah, these drivers that got the new tires would really love to see a green flag run. And can really work their way through the field and, take it to a point where they can get that last stop and probably to make it the rest of the way, I would imagine. So they're just going to drive their tails off here, and that's what you're seeing by some of these drivers. Cody Griffin is your leader right now, though, as Andrew Pileshi has slid back through the field. Cody Griffin back up front. Brandon Muir there in P number 2. Cole Spaulding up in 3rd at the moment, and then number 49, and Sean Wilder up in 4th. Tim Lee, I think, the first time this year so far, cracking the top 5 here, up 14 spots.
And Andrew Pileshi in pit lane here, so not sure if he's just realizing that
no tires is bad.
yeah, but. Okay, he didn't hit pit lane yet. I was going to say, I think he only came in for fuel, but now he hits pit lane, and you got to take those tires, and probably going to go down a lap as well in doing so. But yeah, he was certainly falling back through the field on this one. It's kind of tough, with looks like Eric Blunt and James Yerger maybe involved in an incident here.
I don't know.
I'm seeing James Yerger slide down the field, still green. as Yerger now back up on the track. Eric up in 9th place right now. I see that he went off the track. I mean, it might have been just briefly.
Michael Pratt shoot off the track or something too.
I got Eric Blunt and James Yerger is what I seen.
Let's try this.
There's Yerger going down through the bottom, and that looks like maybe like a wheel shut off or something like that on that one. I mean, he's just driving straight down there.
Yeah, not
finally working his way back up there, so not sure what happened there to the 39. But no caution here on the speedway. We're going to keep this thing going.
Get back on the speedway as Cody Griffin continues to lead over Brandon Muir up there for 1 and 2 by about a little over half a second. Cole Spaulding back another second and a half in third, with Sean Wilder following. Tim Lee's got fifth kind of wrapped up at the moment. Got a nice lead over Dustin Franklin, number 73, and P number 6. Dalton Kilroe is still in the top 10, kind of quiet tonight, sitting in 7th at the moment. Len McNeese out there back in 8th, as you've seen him get involved earlier. Eric Blunt up to 9th. Derek Paulson, number 5 car, up in 10th. Robert Smith in 11th. Todd Poston, Mike Hasty, Robert Kahn, DJ Midsel, Todd Merkel, Austin Call, Ty Marasco, Gordon Larson, and Michael Taylor for your top 20. And I believe those are the cars on the lead lap.
Yes, they are indeed. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's...
And we have a few cars with some big moves through the race here. Cole Spaulding, the biggest mover of the race, up 17 spots, started back there in 20th, up in 3rd. Tim Lee, we mentioned, he's been a hard charger here a lot tonight. He's up from 19th up to 5th, so up 14 spots. And then Robert Smith is the one that started shotgun on the field here tonight, started 27th up to 11th, so almost cracking the top 10 with that number 08 right now. So good start for some of these drivers. A few getting caught up in some issues here, and it's kind of tough. Some series you look at and you go into where some nights can just end up being a caution fest. Some nights can just be a little rough, but you go into VVR weekly, you expect it to be caution free, and when you have a few cautions like this early, it's kind of hard to figure out, do I plan on this actually having some more cautions, or do I plan on being a typical league race where, okay, now we're settled in, now we're going to go green the rest of the way, and you got to try and figure out your strategy from there. So it's not easy. You'd almost rather have one or the other. Know that it's going to be green, or know that it could be a little rough out there, because trying to kind of guess on the fly is not easy, and it's not fun sometimes for these drivers. But we're past the halfway point right now, and hopefully we get some green flag laps here in the second half. Stretch this thing out. Cody Griffin is the one doing the stretching right now, up about a second on Brandon Muir, and then Brandon Muir's got about a second on Cole Spaulding in 3rd. Sean Wilder looks like going to close in here now, since we had the 49 get into the wall. So now a battle for 3rd place here is Wilder looks to the inside, but going to slide back up to the top side. Here's Spaulding again, up a ton of spots here, up 16 spots right now. He's going to lose a spot, so hopefully not too much damage on that 49 after brushing the wall. But either way, Jimmy, hopefully they got the bugs out, the kinks out, and now we can get some green flag racing here and see who's got the best car out there for the second half.
Flown around the cars, and I don't know if anybody else noticed, but I knew it sounded like a few of them fuel saving, Carl. A lot of large, clutch type lifting. You can hear Robert Kahn kind of off it too. So I don't not total, just kind of nice and easy with the throttle, but really kind of holding off on some of that. And you can see a few drivers down in the pits right now here on lap 54. Is this the window to make it the rest of the way? Is this what these drivers are doing now, coming down in the pits? Ty Marasco join them as well. So I don't quite know, because we didn't reach that opportunity to see the green flag stops. So we definitely see tires going up on some of these cars, and obviously enough fuel, hopefully maybe to finish the race. But Is this the
I
last
would say
pit stop?
probably not. I would say maybe these drivers are looking at kind of splitting the last segment into two here. So coming in right now, and then maybe coming in another 20, 30 laps to then make it to the end. I think 45 laps is a very long stint here at Chicagoland. So maybe, but. I mean, only 55% fuel here in these cars here tonight. It feels like a bit of a stretch, but I mean, we've been wrong before. Why not be wrong again? I'm gonna go and say no. They're going to give me another pit stop here.
Right.
That's what I'm going to lean
throwing
right now.
out there. I mean, just throwing it out there. See, Hemming said he was fuel saving. Yeah, he definitely was fuel saving.
Yes, he's got a ton of
I mean,
fuel.
you saving a ton of. You giving away that too? I'm sure somebody could use your tank or something. I mean,
I don't know how he's doing the tire saving that he's doing right now either. I mean,
he's giving them away.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if you had to like. It would kind of be nice, like if you had like credits that you could earn or something in like leagues and stuff for like tires and stuff like
for the next race.
Yeah, if you can like, maybe if you saved a set of tires from a race, you're able to carry it over to the next one, or maybe add some a clean race. If you get like 3 clean races, you can get a free set of tires or something. Like 0Xs. Something like that to kind of intrigue the and it would only, even if they got an extra set of tires, it'd only be for that race, and that's it. They couldn't use it for the next one, so it's kind of like you roll the dice type of thing. But yeah, I think you could really spice things up with adding some options for some of the league stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of, we talked about it before, like you're able to increase the time out there. Why can't you increase the tire wear?
Exactly.
So
well, I mean, I've
have
said
to
this
go
so
to
many
the
times,
same amount of
half distance races, we should be able to make it 2x when it comes to the wear. I mean, I can't imagine it be that much difficult when it comes to the the coating and everything like that, and iRacing, and same thing with the fuel. If we're doing a half race or we're doing a quarter race, whatever it is, that's how you kind of figure it out. Like if you're doing a half a race, why can't you do 2 times the fuel, 2 times the tires, and then you get something a little bit more realistic instead of having a half tank and tires are what they are, and more often than not, you're coming in to get fuel. Not necessarily coming in because your tires are just absolutely spent. There are very few tracks you go to where you have to come in because of the tires, not because of the fuel. But it's still just peeing into the wind. Unfortunately, it's one thing that I feel like it would be really good for. I mean, it's not, in my eyes, that's not making it arcadey. I mean, I get it. It kind of is. You're forcing extra wear on here, but.
Yeah, you're advancing the.
It's just extra
situation.
Options.
Yeah. I don't like. I'm not necessarily make them mandatory. I'm saying for like league events, it's definitely something that because there's a lot of leagues out here. I mean, VVR runs some of the longer laps here on CRN, and it doesn't seem like it because they're most of the time they're green. This is like a rare night here to have more than one caution on a VVR race.
Let alone a caution.
Yeah, let alone a caution. I was kind of teasing Carl because he's kind of helping out a little bit tonight with the stewarding, and it's like, yeah, tonight's going to be their busiest night, and of course here it comes. So maybe I plagued everybody, by telling Carl he's actually got a double work, but out here. But yes, there's a lot of. I mean, look at you're taking a little bit of time off, but we had UCRL. They did some really long races, and they would put full fuel, unlimited tires, not unlimited tires, but they had limited tires. But they would run a full tank of fuel, and they would have to make a pit stop. So I mean, their races were quite lengthy as well. Definitely miss them guys. I know some of them have joined a lot of the other series, so we get to talk to a lot of the drivers. I still keep in touch with Scott Bolster on Facebook. So enjoying life and his kids. So, but definitely miss being over there on taking care of CSRL. Or not CSRL, UCRL. So many RLs, race leagues. But but Cody Griffin getting it done right now. Carl, he's out to almost a second now.
Yeah, and we're completing lap number 63 here, so getting to the back half of this race at this point. We're gonna go ahead and crank it up here while they got a nice little green flag run. Give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
A little love to hear it.
Sights and sounds here from the Virtual Velocity Racing Xfinity Series as we are down under the last 20 laps now and seeing what's probably the last round of pit stops from a lot of these drivers, maybe already done for some out there already. Cole Spaulding now taking over the lead in the 49. We mentioned he was one of the biggest movers of the race. He's now moved from 20th to 1st, up 19 spots. Here is the 49. Cody Griffin is going to be right there in 2nd, but kind of getting held up a little bit right now as the lap car of the 91 getting in the mix of things as Sean Wilder trying to get back on the lead lap, or trying to stay on the lead lap in that Doritos number 91, as he just recently came in the pits on lap number 77 to top off on fuel and trying to get back going here. But Cole Spaulding in the lead, Cody Griffin in 2nd. Dalton Kilroe is now up into 3rd. He is about 3 seconds behind the leaders right now. Actually, sorry, 2 seconds behind the leaders. Only 1.8 behind Cody Griffin. So the 41 and the 5, his teammate Derek Paulson, both on the move, trying to work their way to the front. Dustin Franklin rounds out the top 5. Len McNeese, Todd Poston, Eric Blunt, Robert Kahn, and Mike Hasty for your top 10.
Yeah, and everybody kind of getting in, trying to finish up, trying to see where the battle's at, and it's kind of, everybody's kind of evenly spaced. Nobody's really on top of each other. Kind of like right here with the Nerds Machine and Eric Blount is your closest battle. As Eric Blount going down to the inside there with the 6, and Ty Baraska as well. So, and they were just in not too long ago. So coming up on some slower car. So. 31 tagging the wall just a little bit, bringing that, moving that car around, but they able to keep it going here straight. I'm sure he didn't want to feel that one. That seemed a little rough there for the 31 Nerds Machine, but away they go through the field here. We're trying to make their way, and Len McNeese up to Pete number 6 with the decisions that he's made tonight. So trying to continue forward, trying to hunt down Dustin Franklin, and at number 73, Derek Paulson up 7 spots. Yeah, but your biggest mover, Carl, is the 49 of Cole Spaulding. Just kind of seeing when he last pit. He last pit on lap 65. So, you know, they're going to 100. So I believe he is good. He might be good to go, I think.
It's making me thirsty for sure with the Yingling paint scheme on there, but doing a good job right now out front and already stretching out in front of Cody Griffin as well. This is the first time we've kind of seen somebody take it to the 3 here tonight on pace and get around him and get away here, as he's about 0.8 of a second in front. But now you're seeing that target machine moving up here. The 41 of Dalton Kilroe looking to avenge his fate from last week and trying to get himself the win here tonight. He's already working on Cody Griffin. Going to take over that 2nd spot here on the front stretch. They're side by side into 1, but he's got 3 lap fresher tires, and he will move into 2nd place. Now he's only got 1 more spot to work on, and that's Cole Spaulding at the front. Can he run him down and get this thing in the bag for his first win of the 2026 season after coming off back-to-back championships here in VVR, obviously winning last season's championship and then winning the little fall fun championship as well. So hence the target car. He's definitely going to target on his back for this season, but he's up now in 2nd place. Derek Paulson now up into 4th. Eric Blunt is doing some battling with Len McNeese for 5th and 6th currently. We're getting down to the last few laps here. We got about 11 laps left in this race. Can the 49 do anything to hold off that 41?
You know, Carl, I'm not 100% sure. I'm trying to debate whether Cody Griffin and Cole Spaulding still need to if they're good on fuel or not. I know we're down to 11 laps. But they were in on lap 65 and 66. Dalton Kilroe was in on lap 69. So, obviously he would have more fuel. Most drivers are in there at lap 66, 67. So, a few drivers back there got me questioning fuel mileage. But I guess, the 60, Spaulding, obviously the one out there the longest at the moment, besides Hilton Young, which is towards the back of the pack.
He'll go to the outside here with 10 laps to go. Going to look for the lead. And I think easily going to take it here through 1 and 2. He's going to have a bit of a better run off the corner. And he will clear the 49 on the backstretch with Dalton Kilroe. First time in the lead here tonight. It took him 90 laps to do so, but it doesn't matter how long it takes you as long as you're there at the end. And that's where we're coming to right now. Coming up to 9 laps to go. The one there of Ty Marasco has definitely got ahead of steam, but he is a lap down, trying to work his way back on the lead lap the hard way. And Dupaletti trying to do the same thing as he last bit on lap number 72, so he's got a little bit fresher tires than the drivers in front. Robert Kahn now in the pits from 10th position. So again, are we going to have a mass exit from the track for some of these drivers here in these last 10 laps right now? Cole Spaulding probably has already lost his chance at the win because Dalton Kilroe being out there. So saving fuel maybe just to get himself into the top spots here. We're not going to get himself the win, but we'll see if anybody else from the top 10 has to come in before this thing is over.
And I don't know if this is a fuel run or not, Carl, but like I said, I know they tried to adjust fuel to kind of help eliminate fuel mileage races and just allow the drivers to run these cars as hard as they can. But the fact is you can't control when a caution is not going to come out unless you're the one planning on wrecking to hit those marks. But it just depends on when the caution is. It really kind of, whether it's a fuel mileage race, and they've gotten so lucky with a lot of their races, and I agree with, all right, let's give them a little bit more fuels to start, but don't get too settled, like, oh, I don't have to save fuel tonight, because you could get a caution somewhere in the middle, where if you just saved, you can eliminate a pit stop, or you can stay out there and not have to come in and get that splash and dash. But things are all mixed up at the moment, but Dalton Kilroe is your leader. No mix-up there as the two-time champ trying to get out there and win some more here tonight. Derek Paulson in that 5 has moved up into P number 2. Cole Spaulding up there in number 49 in 3rd. Still hanging on as he was last in on lap 45, so really stretching the tank here. Cody Griffin dominating a lot of this race, sitting back there in P number 4. Eric Blount with one heck of a run here tonight, up 11 spots in the top 5. Todd Potston in P number 6, so a good run there for Todd. And a number 31 Nerds Machine. Mike Hasty back in 7th at the moment. Dustin Franklin sits at 8th. DJ Mitchell is 9th, and Tim Lee back up in the top 10 after missing pit road. And I have a feeling Tim would have probably been up a few more spots, Carl, if he didn't miss that entry.
Well, we did have another one from the top 10 come in as Len McNeese had to come in and make a late pit stop here. But yeah, definitely a shout out to the 6 as he was involved in that first incident that he ended up wrecking his car pretty bad, and now finds himself in 4th because the 49 of Cole Spaulding has got to come in and get some fuel. So how many drivers out there can make it to the end? I got a feeling that Dalton Kilroe and Derek Paulson kind of knew this early on. That's why they stretched out that last run and pit on lap number 69 and 68 respectively. But Cody Griffin pit on 66, so does he have enough to get to the end? Dustin Franklin, same deal. He pit on lap number 65, and here comes Cody Griffin from 3rd place, not going to be able to make it to the end as he pit again on lap number 66. Todd Poston pit on lap number 67. So can he make it to the end? We're down to 2.5 laps left in this race, and fuel mileage is getting pretty interesting here.
It's coming down to it. I'm pretty sure Kilroe is good to go. I can only imagine him not noticing that he needed a half a lap or so to make it and not save. He's out to a half a second lead over there over Derek Paulson as well. So
who has been reeling him in. He has been reeling him in. I mean, 10th of a second last lap. So this thing may not be over for the win.
Yeah, we only got a little bit longer to go here. Next time by will be the white flag. Eric Blount sitting there in P number 3, stretching it out, was in on lap 68 as well, so right behind Paulson. So should be good to go. Todd Poston was there in 67, so hopefully he can make it the rest of the way. Dustin Franklin was in on lap 65. so probably saving it in fuel. Obviously, we're on the last lap.
You seem kind of just limping right now.
Yeah, it might be half throttle, Carl.
yeah, it seems like
Brandon Mir has gone by. Yeah.
I mean, Tim Lee will pick up maybe a spot or two yet before this thing is over, but Dalton Kilbro is on the last lap. He's got an 0.8 of a second lead over teammate Derek Paulson, and it's going to be enough. Dalton Kilbro getting the first win here of 2026, comes in the second race already here at Chicagoland. Derek Paulson comes home in second. It's been quite a while since we've seen Kilbro and Paulson go at it, as they battled a lot in 2025 in that season, but they're going to come home 1-2 here tonight. Eric Blunt, a great bounce back here to finish in third. Mike Hasty just gets Todd Pawson at the line as Pawson out of fuel, so Hasty's going to come home in fourth. Pawson is going to limp home in fifth. Mitchell's going to come home in sixth. Then you got Brandon Mir, Ty Marasco, a good run back here from the one, as we've seen him earlier, fighting just to get back on the lead lap. He finishes in eighth. Sean Wilder, Tim Lee for your top 10, as quite a few drivers had to dip out of there to try and save fuel. And you see Dustin Franklin right there, 12th place for the 73 after he was up there in the top 10. But what a way to finish this thing, Jimmy. I know some of these drivers are finishing up here, but I mean, if they got enough gas to finish up at the end of this thing. Once they do, you can give us a rundown of tonight's finishing order, but I mean, your thoughts here on the ending.
Yeah, I mean, the ending was good. I wasn't quite sure on the fuel, obviously, because, you know, all the cautions kind of mixed up in the beginning. And it did not allow us to kind of get that last kind of window where they'd be. But obviously, you should go with obviously the champ. You know, when they come make a pit stop at a certain time, there's a reason. There's a reason that they won a championship, and then there's a reason he won here tonight. Right strategy at the right time. So congratulations to Dalton Kilbro again, and then number 41, as we'll get a chance to talk to him again. But the rest of the field finishing up here, Derek Paulson finishing in second, so 1-2 finish for MFRD. Eric Blount back there in P number 3. Fantastic run for the 6, as we've seen him involved earlier in an incident. Mike Hasty finishing in 4th. Todd Pawson in 5th. DJ Mitchell be in 6th. Brandon Mir will be in 7th. Ty Marasco finishing in 8th. Sean Wilder up 3 spots in 9th. Tim Lee finishing in the top 10 tonight, up 9 spots. Then you have Andrew Pileshi in 11th, Dustin Franklin in 12th, Cole Spaulding in 13th, Michael Taylor in 14th, Cody Griffin, probably a disappointing night as he dominated a lot of this race here, finishing in 15th, Austin Call in 16th, Todd Merkel in 17th, Len McNeese in 18th, and then the rest of the field here in 19th place you'll have Gordon Larson Jr., Robert Kahn in 20th, Cade Green in 21st, James Yerger in 22nd, Robert Smith in 23rd, Michael Pratt finishes back in 24th, Hilton Young in 25th, Mike Rideout in 26th, and Hemi Gardini cheering on everybody out in the stands. So congratulations to all the drivers that
still got 2 tires at the
maybe he's going to take them with him for the next race. But definitely a great race here tonight at Chicago. And underneath the lights of finishing things up, but we'll get a chance to talk to your winners and podium finishers here in just a quick moment.
Well, and as races like this can do, it certainly ended up being a strategy race. And due to that, we got some breaking news, Jimmy. It looks like the driver of the 2, Todd Merkel, has fired his crew chief for this season, and he's going to be looking for a new one here to make the right strategy call for the rest of the season. So if you're looking for a crew chief job, it looks like one has just opened up on the 2 for Todd Merkel. So definitely get in contact with him, and maybe you can be out there with him next week. But either way, we're going to get our top 3 in here. We already got 3rd place in here, and it's going to be the 6 of Eric Blunt coming home in 3rd place here tonight. Eric, I got to imagine getting caught up in that first wreck, and it looked like your hood was pretty much detached. It was some pretty heavy damage to the 6. I'm assuming you had to use a faster pair right from the rip there. He couldn't have been too happy to start this thing.
No, I was like, oh gosh, we're in for a long night.
Well,
That was my first thought. I mean, when I said it, because when I came out the smoke, Hemi was like sideways in the middle of the track, and I just nailed him. It tore the whole front end of the car off.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was really anything you could do coming into that incident there. It looked like maybe a single car wreck or one or two, but it was kind of perfect. The storm for where it happened. And this track here tonight, we seen it the other night when we had another series out here with the next gens, but it seems like Chicago has really turned into a racy track where you guys can kind of put the car in all different kinds of grooves in the corners.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's wide open here from the bottom, under the apron, actually all the way up to the wall. I mean, you could run whatever you want. It's just how much tire wear are you willing to sacrifice? Sometimes the higher up you run, the more tire wear. So you find your spot, and it's easy to pass because, like I said, you have the whole track.
Well, it didn't seem like it was tire wear that was a concern here tonight. It ended up being fuel at the end of this thing, and it looked like you had maybe just enough fuel in that 6 to get it to the end here in third place.
Oh, yeah, we were just good. We saved that whole second run. We came in, took 2, filled it up, topped it off, and just saved from the drop as soon as we hit the track. And it paid off because I thought a lot of guys was going to make it because we were right on the window. Like, we were right on the edge when we pitted. We saved the first run, the end of it. I didn't save the whole run. I figured, we need the whole position. And about halfway through, I started saving, and it got us to when we pitted, it was 31 to go.
Well, it certainly was fun, and it was kind of crazy just watching the drivers drop like flies towards the last couple laps, and you hate to see it for them in the last 10 laps of the race, but it's kind of crazy when you're looking at when the last time they pit and like I don't know if they can make it, and then boom, you see them drop into the pits, another one drop into the pits, another one, and I'm sure you didn't mind at all as you work your way up here, get a chance to come up here and talk to us with a third place finish after everything that went on here tonight. So congrats on your podium here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, just point on that. That was me last week. I was out front with 2 or 3 to go and just couldn't save enough to make it and had to hit pit road. So I feel their pain. But tonight I want to thank everybody that was watching, everybody that came out, wifey that lets me come out and do this thing here. Thank you guys up in the booth for all you do and the great job you do at showcasing us. And to all the talented drivers, congrats to Dalton. I mean, he's our champion. So, of course, he's representing congrats to everybody, man.
Everybody, well, congrats to you as well, again, for getting the podium here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you next week.
All right. I just want to say shout out to my little team that we work out with. Gordon, Mike with a great finish. Hemi got caught up in something. Brandon.
He's trying to give away your tires, man. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you might want to talk to him.
He wasn't even considered teammates. He was trying to give away to anybody.
Thanks, guys.
Buddy, that is your third place finisher here tonight. The 6 of Eric Blunt getting it done here at the end. Second place here tonight, Jimmy, is going to be the 5 of Derek Paulson.
Derek, Jimmy Carl the booth, you copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you. You got me?
Yeah, we do, man. Welcome back. It's good to see the 5 back out here with VVR for sure. And great performance driving that Ford out there. You get yourself a second place tonight. Give us a little rundown of your race, man. How was it out there?
First third of the race, you had to dodge all the chaos. I did get in part of that one wreck. Luckily, they're kind enough to give us a fast repair. Haven't been out here in a while. Just was gonna hang in the back and get the rust off, and the way the cautions fell, you could see what our strategy was. We kind of knew what we were gonna do, and there towards the end, what got me was track position, because I had to pass so many more cars on the second to the last fuel stop that I was too far behind Dalton to give him any run for the money. Plus, I had to pit a lap sooner due to the fuel consumption trying to pass some of those guys. But all in all, it was a good race. It was fun to be back out here. Love this group of guys, and it's great to be back.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see the 5 back out on the track and getting things done. And I know maybe you're trying to just hang out, but it's definitely was a thrill up here to see you back up front, possibly, tracking down Dalton Kilrow to, finish 1-2 here tonight and getting the MFRD boys back out together, getting things done. So want to say congratulations, man. It was awesome to have you out here. So we want to give you some time for any shots you might have at number 5.
And got a shout out to Tim and all the admins over in this league. They do a great job putting this back on, or putting it on, I should say. And I got to thank you guys up. You've been with us now for quite a while, and you even broadcasted the Winter Series. And even though I wasn't out here, I always snuck myself in and watched the broadcast and enjoyed that. So I thank you guys for that. Got to thank the MFRD team, the normal guys in the Discord server, and I think that's about it.
Thanks for all the shout outs, man. It was good that you're at least keeping in touch with everybody, and I'm glad we were able to do that for you. So again, congratulations though, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Sounds good. Thank you guys.
Yes, sir.
Is your second place finisher here tonight, the 5 of Derek Paulson. Before we get to our leader here, looks like some more issues here as we got another crew chief that has been fired from the 3 team from Cody Griffin. So a few crew chief vacancies after just a night here. I mean, 2 races into the season, and well, for lack of better words, the shit's hitting the fan, Jimmy. This is getting serious here. The season has officially started, but the season is now officially started for the 41 as well, as he gets a top spot here tonight. Dalton Kilrow, welcome back to victory lane. Didn't take too long here into 2026. Just had to wait just one extra race as Ryan Kelly got the better of you last week. But here tonight, you had the strategy. I guess at what point did you and Dalton kind of realize, you know what, we got to save a little bit of fuel here on this run, because if we finally get a good green flag run to finish this off, we're going to need that just 1 or 2 extra laps.
Well, myself and Dalton, as you call them.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You, Dalton, and Derek, for that matter.
Yes, all 3 of us realized once exactly. That caution came out right outside the window that it was going to be close. And I know Derek; he's a sly little fox, and I knew he was going to, do the fuel strategy, and I knew I had to stay on top of it, stay in front of him best I could while making sure I was in a good window. I debated taking tires on that last pit stop, just because I knew, most of the other people that I was racing around weren't going to make it. So I knew I wasn't going to lose a lap if I didn't take tires, but I'm glad I did, because obviously a late caution did not come out. So that's what allowed me to stay in front of Mr. Paulson. But good to see him back out on track. It's been a while. Just glad it worked out. Everybody got spread out, and we got back to what VVR is good at doing, having some good green flag racing.
Well, yeah, it was definitely good to see both of you up there, and not surprised you end up going 1-2 here once again. We've seen it so much in 2025, and maybe just a preview what 2026 is going to bring us, as well as we'll see how often Derek can get out there and give you some issues. But it looked like it was getting a little bit close. I mean, you came in a lap later than Paulson, and you seemed to kind of get to the lead pretty easily, and you had enough of a lead. But then all of a sudden, I look up and it's down to a half a second between you two. Did you have to do a little bit of saving at the end there that allowed him to close in, or was it maybe lap traffic that was giving you issues?
So I didn't have to save, but I chose to save just because, I knew Tim had said before the race that there was one attempt at a green-white checkered if a caution did come out in that window. So I was just trying to make sure I was good and I wouldn't need to give up any track position to make a pit stop to get a splash of fuel. So I was just saving in case there was a green-white checkered. And once I saw him start to get close, I was like, oh, can't do that anymore. So I pulled it back out to about a second, just kind of waited, saw what happened, then went right back to saving. Just that little bit. And that was, I mean, again, I could have done that without saving, but I just wanted to try to have all my bases covered as best as I could. And I feel like I feel like it worked out regardless. So I'm just glad it was a good 1-2 for the team.
Well, that did. You get yourself the first win again here of this season, and should obviously boost you right up to the point standings lead after finishing second last week at Auto Club. So now you guys start to look for race number 3 at Kentucky. Kind of a similar track that you had here tonight. What are your thoughts on Kentucky for 100 laps?
There's a reason NASCAR doesn't race there anymore, and
I mean, they didn't race here for about 10 years or so. So they're finally coming back here.
Which that is a big mistake. But no, Kentucky. I can understand why some people would think it'd be kind of similar, just because it's a mile and a half. It's considered a cookie cutter, but just the corners have such less bank, or at least 3 and 4 has such low amounts of banking. It's 2 completely different halves of the racetrack, and it's just a coin flip as to what's going to work on any given day around that racetrack. So, gonna just go into it as fresh of a mind as I can get. Try to forget everything I've done at that racetrack before and see what it decides it wants to throw at us next week, and hopefully have another good result.
Well, it certainly is going to help going in there with a win here at Chicagoland. So congrats again on the win here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Oh, I got to thank the MFRD crew. We actually showed up tonight. What a job by the crew. Derek, Ty, James, Con. It's not normal. We have 5 people in a voice chat. That is that is amazing to have again. Whether it's going to stay like that or not, I don't know. But hey, we'll see. Hopefully it stays at least 4. I know Derek was saying his wrist has been hurt since like September. So he's still kind of recovering from that. It's taking a little longer to heal than he would like. So glad he was able to come out and at least get second. I mean, he still made me have to pay attention to him at least. So it's not like he has too much rust. So gotta thank you guys for the broadcast. Everybody at home tuning in. Barry, what's up, boy? Let's go. Got to thank Tim and the rest of the admins at VVR for putting the league on. Everybody on the track for coming out and giving us good green flag racing to the end. Gold Line Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, Hilton Crossing Designs, everybody else that helps make VVR go. And hope everybody's having a good New Year.
Buddy, well, certainly you are with the win here tonight, I'm sure. So, once again, congrats on the good start to the season. Second and first is it's definitely a good way to start here in 2026. We'll see what you can do at Kentucky next week, but take some time to celebrate this one. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
That's your winner here tonight, the 41 of Dalton Kilroe, getting it done here tonight with some good strategy, along with his teammate Derek Paulson coming home in second, and even our third place there, Eric Blunt, bouncing back after the issues, getting involved in the first wreck there tonight. But either way, it ended up being a good one. It ended up being a typical VVR night here in the second half, and got a lot of green flag running. So love to see that out there. Certainly some vacancies out there in the crew chief department. Looks like Hemi Giardini looking just for a crew chief period. Not sure if that's going to give him an extra fast repair or not that he could have used here tonight. But exactly. But either way, hopefully you enjoyed the racing here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. I want to thank our sponsors here again: Hilton Crafts and Designs, Gold Line Guardians, and Fort Worth Screen Printing. But for myself and Jimmy from the Chicagoland Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.